My unfaithful wife looked at me and said, "I'm tired of sneaking around, so just know that I have a devoted lover, and from now on, he'll occasionally be staying overnight in our home." I simply smiled and replied, "I think you'll find him useless since he's already lost his most important tools sitting at the dinner table." I took a slow sip of my coffee while Claire, my wife, leaned back in her chair, swirling the wine in her glass. She had that smug expression I had come to despise over the past few months. "I'm tired of hiding, so just know that I have a devoted lover," she said casually, as if discussing something as mundane as the weather. Setting her glass down, she met my gaze. "And now he'll occasionally stay overnight at our place." My fingers tightened around my coffee mug, but I didn't react the way she expected. No yelling, no outburst, just a slow, measured breath. I had already known. The signs were there, the late nights at work, her sudden obsession with her appearance, the way she avoided my touch while never letting go of her phone. But hearing her admit it so boldly without a hint of shame was something else entirely. She was testing me, waiting for an explosion, for me to beg or fight. Instead, I offered a small knowing smile. "I think he'll be useless to you," I said smoothly, lifting my coffee cup to my lips, considering he's already lost his most important tool. Her smirk faltered. Her lips parted slightly, confusion flashing in her eyes. "What the hell are you talking about?" Setting my cup down gently, I leaned forward and met her gaze. "You're about to find out." For the first time, her confidence wavered. She had expected anger, maybe desperation. Anything but this eerie calm. "What do you mean?" she asked, her voice slightly unsteady. I leaned back, watching as unease crept into her expression. She thought she was in control. That was her first mistake. "You'll see soon enough," I said, standing up. "I suggest you enjoy tonight. It's the last time things will feel normal." I left her at the table, letting paranoia take root. She had no idea what was coming. The setup I had been working on for weeks was about to unfold. From the moment I suspected something was off, I didn't confront her. I observed. I tracked her patterns, installed hidden cameras, even followed her once to confirm what I already knew. Her so-called devoted lover, a pathetic excuse for a man named Daniel, had no idea that while he was sneaking into my home, I'd been uncovering every detail of his life. His job, his criminal record. Turns out he wasn't as clean as Claire thought. His financial troubles, his weaknesses, the ones I planned to exploit, but most importantly, his medical history. That's when I discovered the perfect way to destroy him. That night, I pretended to turn in early, leaving Claire alone in the living room. As expected, she wasted no time. She quickly fixed her makeup and sent a message. "He's coming over," I muttered to myself, watching the hidden security feed. Minutes later, Daniel walked into my home like he belonged there, wearing that cocky smirk. He had no clue this would be the worst mistake of his life. I let them get comfortable, let them believe they were safe. Then I sent the anonymous tip. Within minutes, the wail of police sirens filled the air. Claire and Daniel barely had time to react before the front door burst open. Officers flooded in, weapons drawn. Daniel turned ghostly pale. "What the hell is this?" Claire shrieked. One of the officers grabbed Daniel, slamming him against the wall. "Daniel Carter, you're under arrest for fraud, embezzlement, and identity theft. You have the right to remain silent." Slowly, I descended the stairs, deliberately taking my time. Claire turned to me, her face contorted in horror. She whispered. "You did this." I smiled. "Of course I did. Did you really think I'd just let this slide?" She lunged at me, but an officer held her back. "Careful," I said. "You're still legally my wife. And once I'm done with you, you'll be left with nothing." Claire's world was collapsing around her. But this was only the beginning. She stood frozen as Daniel was hauled away in handcuffs, his protest drowned out by the officers reading him his rights. Her face twisted into a mix of shock, fear, and rage. "What the hell have you done?" she spat, her voice trembling. Leaning against the door frame, I folded my arms, watching her realize too late that she was no longer in control. "Me," I said, feigning innocence. I just let the law do its job. You might want to sit down, Claire. Your life is about to get very complicated. Her fist clenched. You think you've won? That bastard will be out on bail in no time. I chuckled, shaking my head. You still don't get it, do you? I wasn't just watching you two mess around, Claire. I was digging and I found everything I needed to ensure Daniel would never walk away unscathed. Claire's confidence wavered as I pulled out my phone and tapped on a file. Let me paint a picture for you, I said, turning the screen toward her. Your so-called devoted lover isn't just some low-life adulterer. He's a criminal, fraud, identity theft, a trail of unpaid debts. And oh, here's the best part. A record soliciting underage girls online. Her face went pale. You're lying, she whispered, though the doubt in her voice betrayed her. I tilted the screen so she could see for herself. Screenshots, chat logs, financial transactions, all indisputable evidence tying Daniel to his crimes. Tell me, Claire, I continued, watching the panic settle in her eyes. What do you think happens when people find out that you not only had an affair with this guy, but also invited him into our home, introduced him to our friends, let him stay overnight? Think that's going to reflect well on you? Her hands trembled. I didn't know. You didn't care, I corrected. And now you're going down with him. As she struggled to process everything, I pressed on. Might want to check your bank accounts, I said casually, pulling out my own phone. Oh wait, never mind. They're empty. Her head snapped up. What? I shrugged. Remember our joint savings account? The one you assumed I was too clueless to monitor? Turns out I've been quietly moving funds for months. Every shady little transaction, every dime you spent on your affair, I tracked it all. And when I filed for divorce earlier today, I made sure you'd walk away with absolutely nothing. Frantic, she grabbed her phone, her fingers shaking as she opened her banking app. The color drained from her face. You're lying, she said weakly. See for yourself. Her breath hitched as she realized the truth. Oh, and the house, I added. It's mine. You signed a prenup, remember? You don't get a single penny. Pure desperation flickered in her eyes. You bastard. You can't do this. I took a step closer, lowering my voice. I already did. Tears welled up. The arrogance she once carried now shattered beyond repair. She had no money, no home, and soon no reputation. And I wasn't finished yet. Taking a step back, I glanced at my watch. I'd love to stay and watch you fall apart, but I have other things to do. You, on the other hand, have about 24 hours before the real fun begins. She wiped at her tears, her voice trembling. What do you mean? I smirked. Let's just say you're about to be famous. Her phone buzzed once, then again and again. Notification after notification flooded her screen. Confused, she opened her messages, her breathing quickening as she scrolled through them. Screenshots of her affair were spreading in our family and friend group chats. The police report detailing Daniel's crimes was making the rounds. A leaked copy of the open marriage contract she had once smugly proposed to me was now circulating online, turning her into a public spectacle. You sent this to everyone, she choked out. Not just them, I said, turning toward the door. Your job, your family, our neighbors, even your yoga instructor. Hope you're ready to be the talk of the town. I walked out, leaving her behind in the ruins of her own choices. I didn't look back. By morning, her life had imploded. She wasn't just the most despised woman in town. She was a complete joke. The messages, the leaked proof of her actions, the open marriage proposal that once made her feel powerful. It all spread like wildfire. Friends cut her off. Family wanted nothing to do with her. Even her coworkers who once respected her now looked at her with disgust. And the best part? Her boss fired her. The company didn't want the scandal. Her so-called enduring lover didn't fare any better. Bail was denied. Judges don't take kindly to men exposed as predators. Divorce papers were served. She had 30 days to vacate my house. As for me, I was thriving. She called that night, her voice shaky and filled with regret. Please, we need to talk. She sobbed into the phone. I made a mistake. Please, I have nowhere to go. I let her plead for a while, let her taste the desperation. Then I simply said, "Not my problem," and I hung up. She sent message after message. I ignored them all. She made her choice. Now she could live with it. By the end of the week, she had one last pathetic attempt left. She showed up at my door, makeup strewn, hair a mess, looking like a shadow of the woman who once smirked at me as if she held all the power. "Please," she whispered. "I need your help. I have no one else." I looked her up and down. The same woman who once thought she had me wrapped around her finger now stood before me, broken and ruined. I smiled. "So, what happened to your great enduring lover?" She flinched. "Gone," she murmured. "He won't even answer my calls." I chuckled. "Yeah, neither will I." And with that, I shut the door in her face. She collapsed, sobbing. But I didn't care. She was nothing to